Gary, how do you ensure that the players take the positives of Tuesday night against Lincoln and don't sort of dwell on the result?
Well, they'll only dwell on it until our meeting, really, because we'll have a meeting about what went well and what didn't go so well, which we always do. So we always review the game. We got that this morning. But then straight after we've reviewed it, obviously you're 100% thinking about the Wycombe game. And the lads know that. It's, 50 odd games a season, including the cup games and everything. You know, they know the drill, and they know that some are going to be picked out for not doing enough. They'd have all had their stats for the weekend. They'd have all had the footage for the weekend, their own individual one as well as the team one. So they'll come in pretty much in the knowledge of what's going to be said. And then, as I say, then we start thinking about Wycombe and looking at the reports on Wycombe and how we're going to play, etc., etc.
And if you can do most of the things you did against Port Vale on Saturday, then you can try and keep that home run going, because obviously separate the home and away, results very, very different.
Yeah, they are different. I thought we'd done all right at Lincoln. I thought we did all right. It's not an easy place to go to in that sort of atmosphere. I thought we coped with the atmosphere quite well. We had, when you get the actual stats, we had more possession than them, and we had the same amount of chances as them. So it was pretty close. And from what we said at the end of the game, that we probably deserved a draw, because we did get on the ball at certain times. It was only just that one finish that we needed, and we certainly had 3 or 4 opportunities to bring away a point, and that would have been a good point. So we obviously we move on to this one, and we've got to keep looking forward to these next few games, because it does. We weren't a million miles away from Lincoln, who are right up there, and we've got to prove that we're not a million miles away from these teams either.
Last couple of away trips to Wycombe have been goals a go-go. Are they just that sort of club that actually they'll always score a few and concede a few?
Yeah, that's what's been happening to them. And sorry about the interruption. Oi, you're going to say sorry to the press?
Sorry, press.
It's all right. Did you think we was going to nick that wallet or something?
No,
couldn't you have waited?
Anton.
Oh, tell him, well done. Yeah, there's a bit of news for you anyway. He's just had twins, and twin little girls, Antoine. So it gives us a chance of publicly wishing him all the best.
Absolutely. We were talking about Wycombe, weren't we?
Yeah, we was, yeah.
Plenty of goals in their games.
Yeah, they do have plenty of goals in their games, and but they're scoring more than they're letting in. That's for sure, because they're right up there, and they've been one of the not surprise teams, but they're one of the teams that are mixing it with some of the big boys up there.
And I suppose looking at their team, the two names that stand out are the ones either end of the pitch, Adebayo and Fenwer, who's unique probably at this level, and Scott Brown, who you and most people at Cheltenham know very well. Yeah,
we do, and we know he's experienced. We watched the last few games on what they do and what they've done. Bayo's Bayo, he's fantastic at what he does. He told me 5 years ago, don't write him off, and he really has done great for himself. I know Gareth Ainsworth well, and I know it's going to be a competitive game again. I hit Bayo, has that little world around him that nobody's allowed in, and he finds it comfortable with his strength. I'll say strength to be nice to him, because he'd get upset if I say any other words. But he's certainly strong, and he's got that air about him that, whatever happens, he's going to win headers. So you have to make sure that you're looking after the people around him. And then and Gareth, as far as I was manager when he was a player at Cambridge, so I know them too well, as I well know Brownie, and they're all competitive lads that are going to have a good living and had a good living in the game.
You're Adebayo though, Elijah Adebayo. How can you ensure that he can make an impact in a game from the start rather than off the bench, as he undoubtedly did against Vale on Saturday?
Yeah, that's the second time you've asked me how can I ensure. I don't think you can ensure anything other than keep working with these people, working with them, and letting them know what you're after, what you're looking for them to achieve as individuals and within the team. So, the only way you can't ever ensure it, but you can help it by keep working on him in training. He's still a young lad, and he didn't do as much as I would have liked him to have done at Lincoln. So, we'll have a little chat, and we need to keep making sure that we do what Fulham have asked us to do, and that is obviously develop him a bit more as a player.
And with players back from suspension and people becoming fathers around the club, it does seem to be sort of a trend there at the moment, but presumably you've got good numbers for the weekend.
Yeah, we've got good numbers, and people will miss out. Obviously, you can only play 5 of the 7 loans. I think all 7 loans will be available for selection this week, including Joe Morrell for the next question that somebody might ask. So he should be fit, he'll be training today. So I've got to make those decisions, and a couple of people will miss out on the bench, and that's what will happen. But I can only pick what I think is the team to win that game, and hope it happens more than it doesn't. And you pick the ones that are showing a bit of form, and the ones that don't show enough form will find themselves out of the team nicely, because I'll talk to them and I'll tell them why they're being left out, and there is a route back in. So if they spit their dummy out, they've got no chance of getting back in the team. But if they keep working and keep being part of the group and feel part of the team, because knowing that they're going to be back in if they train well, then that's the best way to do it.
You expecting an edge in training today then?
A what?
An edge in training?
No, you don't normally get an edge in training on a Thursday when we had a hard game against Lincoln, along with the long travel, as you all know. There's all sorts of things going on when you have to try and get back with motorways shut and all that sort of thing, and you get back late. So they had the day off yesterday. Today will be the review, and we'll have a little bit of football, but it'll be tomorrow that we get into their mental state and mental sharpness and physical sharpness tomorrow. You won't get that today because it's too close to the game that they put in quite a lot of effort against Lincoln.